A very good morning. It is Mark here. Let's get indices up. It is Thursday, May the 22nd, and 8 a.m. Eastern Time, US session about to get underway. That's noon GMT going into the afternoon portion of the European session. Let's see how the markets stand as the US session does get underway, starting with the US dollar index. Yesterday sold off, was down. You can see that strong downtrend on the US dollar index, negative sentiment certainly contributing to dollar weakness. Today looks to be fighting back a little, the US. There's a small green candlestick, narrow range to start with, support at 99.31 and resistance at 99.76, and sitting right in the middle of that range for now. If I zoom into the hourly, there you can see it's just in the past hour that the US dollar has been sold off after making a nice start during the European session, being sold off right now as we get into the US session. We'll see that materializes as the US session gets going. Let's have a look at the S&P. Strong sell-off yesterday, the S&P, and seems to be continuing right now. Bear in mind, we're an hour and a half away from Wall Street opening, but a continuation of yesterday's sell-off in pre-market trading. The support from yesterday, 5,850, has been broken, now sitting at 5,837. You can see that, and if I zoom into the hourly, you can see this is also the same as the US dollar index, weakened in the last hour. Same with the S&P 500, and we'll see if that can continue as the US session gets underway right now. Sellers, of course, looking to maintain below the yesterday's support at 5,846. Buyers will look for this area maybe to bounce up off, and if there's any demand once Wall Street does open up in an hour and a half from now. Let's have a look at gold. Gold had put in a strong run over the past 3 days. Higher again to start trading today, sorry, and you can see that's at 3,347. Today's resistance has come down off that high, and now hovering around yesterday's resistance, and that's 3,315. Sellers will be looking to continue the sell-off and come down and test the 3,282. That's below 3,300. Buyers, of course, looking to maintain above 3,300 and come up and test the intraday resistance. Let's see how that looks on the hourly. So through the European session, you can see the big sell-off, and then in the past hour, big bullish engulfing candle, engulfing the previous red candle, and gold back up to 3,314. Buyers will look to continue what happened in the last hour as the US session gets underway and come up and look for the 3,347 resistance area. Sellers looking below the 3,300 mark. Let's have a look at Brent oil. And we can see yesterday a big sell-off, and so far today that has carried on. EMA's firmly crossed to the downside. New support established at $63 from an open of $64.15. So sellers in control to start the day. US session now underway. We'll see if that does continue and whether the support at 63 can get broken and trade below that. Alternatively, if there's a bounce up off this area, buyers will certainly be looking for today's open as a minimum, as a start, and that's just above the $64, and then we have resistance sitting at $64.47. If I zoom in on the hourly, There you can see there was the big sell-off in the European session, and now hanging around that support area at $63. And Bitcoin, which put in a very strong run yesterday, new record highs on Bitcoin, and it's continued today. You can see that there it goes from yesterday's close at around 110,000. So far today already 111,800. There's the new resistance. And bear in mind that now that we're in uncharted territory and record highs being set, we don't have resistance support levels that we can look back on. And that could make for sharp moves through the day. And buyers have started off on that front foot, as you can see, following up from yesterday, and 112,000 now being the next target on the upside. Good trading, keep that discipline, and I will see you at end of day session.